Quiet now, kitten. Daddy's having suicidal ideation. Gone! Meme review. What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers? Today, we've got a huge lineup. FN made the Warhammer 40k bolter in real life. Canada's being hella gay, and CZ is helping them. The return of Marty Robbins, and more. But first off, the thing that nobody asked for, but everybody was happy to see show up to the party, the company FN, which stands for Fabrique Nationale, as we say here in Texas, and not like a dirty Belgian. The company responsible for all sorts of cool shit ranging from the M240 Bravo, the P90, the 5.7, the SCAR 16, the SCAR 17, the SCAR 20S, the SCAR 15P, the PvP MVP in 4D. They've been dropping banger after banger for about a century of warfare now. And they decided, why fucking stop there? Apparently, we're going to make the bolter in real life. Now, people have compared a lot of firearms to the bolter, the AK-50 included, which I never felt quite deserved it, but this is the first firearm that's ever crossed my desk where I think, goddamn, that's a bolter. I mean, just look at it. The world is a cruel and unjust place. There is no harmony in the universe. The only constant is suffering. Minutes later. OMG, Nader launcher. Yes, FN has made the announcement that they have received a US Army contract, specifically saying the future of Grenadier systems, the US Army awards the FN PP on contract, which makes perfect sense because I'd love to put But seriously, for the last 20 years, FN's been putting the SCAR in basically every caliber. You got the SCAR 16 in 5.56, the SCAR 17 in 308, SCAR 20S in 308 and 6.5 Creedmoor, SCAR 15P in 5.56 and 300 Blackout. Now they're like, fuck it, let's just turn it into a grenade launcher. Like, don't just add a grenade launcher to the SCAR, which they've already fucking done. Let's just turn the SCAR into a grenade launcher itself. They've turned it into the multi-tool of munitions, and I am here for it. Also, I'm not sure I've ever heard of this contract. I didn't know if this is something that was being like actually shopped by the US Army, or if this is like just the unsolicited dick pic of military contracts. FN just gave him a grenade launcher, like, hey, we designed this. I made this. Do you want? I showed you my 30mm grenade launcher. Please respond. And they did. And it's fucking awesome. FN is making an IRL bolt gun, and you're blackpilling? US military. We wanted a 30 caliber Mark 18. FN, I thought you said 30mm. What a neat fucking design though. Just looking at, I'm not gonna go down the TISM hole yet. I'm just excited to check it out. I think it's pretty neat. FN, if there's any way I can get my hands on one of these, I would love to do a deep dive with it. In fact, I actually went straight to Twitter, or excuse me, X. I didn't mean to dead name it. And I asked below their announcement, hey Grok, what are the odds that FN America will let me play with their new SCAR grenade launcher? To which Skynet replied, based on your rep as a firearms YouTuber and past collabs in the industry, I'd estimate 60 to 70% odds if you pitch a review video. To which I replied,
so you're telling me there's a chance?
And a few days later, FN jumped in with this, which if I may speak directly to FN in regards to this, I'm still haunted by the things that I've done for a Klondike bar. Those pale in comparison to what I would do to get my hands on this 30mm grenade launcher. England Simulator. Just kidding, this isn't a defenseless European woman, this is TacPack. TacPack. TacPack is a monthly subscription service where you can get tactical swag. Oh fuck. I just knocked a light over. SOG knives. Enforce license. Enforce lights, goddamn. Enforce lights and dry fire trainers. Rats, tourniquets, reptilia, pistol grips, and more. And breaking news, TacPack has never put out a box with this much value before. In all seriousness, if you use code READY556, you'll get $556 worth of gear in your first TacPack. The November box alone is worth $446, and if you use the code READY556 in November, you'll get an extra $110 in free gear. It's a great deal to jump in on. We appreciate TacPack for sponsoring the video. And as always, if you'd like to get your start in gunsmithing and weapons technology, you can check out sdi.edu down in the links in the description and in the pinned comment. And now for something completely different. Marty Robbins meme. Who would win? A dangerous outlaw who has killed at least 20 people who tried to get him and is not afraid of anything. Some stranger with a big iron on his hip. The results may shock you. Also, fun fact, last time I was in El Paso, I actually went to like the original Rose's Cantina. Like the bar that they talk about in the song. It's kind of cool. They've got like a little shrine to Marty Robbins there in the corner. It's kind of neat. I don't know. Anyhow, moving on. Breaking news! Canada is being big gay, and they're being helped out by the firearm industry. So you may or may not remember, there's been some sweeping firearm legislation that has rocked Canada. Massive firearm bans for specific types of firearms, a ban on the transferring of ownership of any pistol across the board. It's straight up just terrible. Big F's in the chat for any of our Canadian brothers and sisters that still remain uncocked. At least their mindset remains uncocked. Their government cucked them pretty hard. But it turns out in Canada's effort to seize and destroy these firearms, they had a little bit of help. That came in the shape of CZ, which is a massive conglomerate, whether that be CZ USA or, in fact, Colt Canada. It appears that a private company within the firearms sector has been aiding and assisting the Canadian government in their gun disarmament scheme, collecting the firearms that were confiscated and potentially destroying them. Admit to destroying 12,000 confiscated firearms. Hope that everyone will just forget and it doesn't backfire. CZ USA / Colt Canada. Yeah, they've been continuing to post on social media as if nothing's wrong and continuing to try to sell their bolt guns to the world. Turns out,
not a great plan.
When you thought CZ was the in thing, CZ? Every town for gun safety. Now, the CZ owners were always kind of like the hippie Portland coffee shop gun owners. At least that was the stereotype, you know? But for fuck's sake, if this is true, we really have to hold these companies accountable. Don't get mad at me for pointing out shit people are doing. Get mad at the companies for doing shit we don't like. If you're a company that's going to gladly profit off of private gun ownership while also profiting off of disarming the civilian population, fuck you. And if you're madder at me for talking shit about CZ than you are mad at them for doing this in the first place, fuck you harder. When the big, bad, mean, perfectly objective YouTuber says horrible, nasty things, valid complaints, about your favorite gun, you're just attached to it, and that's okay. Yeah, go listen to the fucking Lumineers and cry yourself to sleep, fat. CZ, SIG, Colt, Palmetto State Armory. Now look, I have my complaints about Palmetto State Armory, but I mean, shit, they've never been on the side of civilian gun disarmament, so. In fact, I have many complaints about PSA, but none of them are ownership. For all of their faults, PSA is pretty fucking based. A lot of people ask me my opinion on like the PSA AKs and stuff like that, and for the love of God, there is a video coming on that, and it cannot come soon enough. Got a lot of things to say, got a lot of criticisms, but all of them are because I want that company to succeed, because, yeah. Their whole MO is that they want more people to be affordably armed, and I think that's pretty cool. I just want to make sure that we're arming people with guns that are good. It's a long way of saying we're on the same team. Because if you don't believe in the benefits of an armed civilian population, you might want to crack open a history book. We don't need to worry about the government using violence against its own people. Killing civil rights activists, the move bombing, Waco, war on drugs, Ruby Ridge, the list goes on and on and on and on. In the words of my biological son, Wendigoon, in case you ever find yourself thinking the government would never, oh yes they would. But now off the serious shit, let's move into some other gun memes. Dudes when they buy their first gun. Autism announcement. This is my new favorite recurring bit. We might keep this around. If you grew up in a household that watched Fox News, you immediately, like, this is like a Pavlovian trigger for you. I actually love this meme format so much, I used it to announce, I have acquired another World War I machine gun. In fact, it's technically a lie, I acquired two. I'm looking forward to doing videos on both of these, but I picked up an MG0815, which is basically just like a somewhat shrunk down Maxim gun that was like revolutionary to the idea of a light machine gun. But I also picked up a kit for an MP18, which if you are morbidly autistic about World War I submachine guns or have ever played Battlefield 1, you'll recognize immediately. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but man, I'm fucking excited to break those down, because those are just, it makes my tism tingle. And yes, the MP18 I did get on Gunbroker because I have a problem.
Lizard, 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 lizard.
And if you would like to actually come out and shoot some of the machine guns in my personal collection, as well as a bunch of other guns that are fucking awesome, I'm happy to announce the new giveaway for my congressional campaign is 2 tickets to me and Cody's Influencer Range Day. You might know by now we do this every year. We do a private machine gun shoot every year with just all of our like YouTuber friends, influencers, celebrities, UFC fighters, whatever. We just hang out, have a good time, and shoot a bunch of your favorite machine guns around some of your favorite people. And this year, for the first time, we're doing it not in Texas, but in beautiful Las Vegas. It's going to be our biggest one ever. It's going to be a really good time. And every donation made to the campaign in increments of $5 will be entered to win. So $5 is 1 entry, $10 is 2 entries, $500 is 100 entries, and so on. It's going to be a great time, and we'll pay for you and a guest to come out and hang out with us, all the boys, and shoot some really cool stuff. All while benefiting a great cause of getting an anti-gun swamp creature out of DC and putting somebody like me in. Because together as a community, apes together strong. $10 million of Uniparty money, Brandon Herrera. Autistic meme lords, the fat electrician, every Texan in the 23rd Congressional District who loves America. I know I haven't really given an update on the campaign so far, and that will be coming soon, but we've been hard at work making sure that Operation Rocky 2 is in full swing. That just about wraps things up for us this episode. By the way, if you want to catch me and the crew here in San Antonio, we're doing an unsubscribed live show. I'll leave the links down in the description and the pinned comment for that. It's going to be the first leg of our live show, which means it's going to be unrehearsed and pretty fucking raw. Come hang out with us, have a great time at the beautiful Majestic Theater. If you want to grab tickets, be sure to use the link because there's a bunch of ticket scalpers and people that are just trying to make a quick dime. We try really hard to keep our ticket prices reasonable for you guys, and I hate to see people getting scalped for 5-10 times what we sell the tickets for. So if you want to see me and the rest of the unsubscribed crew perform live here in San Antonio, you can check out the links in the description and the pinned comment. Other than that, I appreciate you guys staying all the way to the end of this episode of Gun Meme Review. We've got some really fun content coming up, but until then, I appreciate you staying all the way to the end, and I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
I'm happy to announce the new giveaway for the campaign is actually 2 tickets to come out. Fuck off.